Hi everyone, welcome back to my Blooming Diaries. Um, the title for this week's Blooming Diaries is Resting and Nesting, because that's what I've been up to. So I hope y'all don't mind while I do this journal entry. I'm gonna be snacking. I just woke up not too long ago and I have not had breakfast yet, so I'm gonna snack and chat. And then I'll go eat some breakfast and my day will be in. So I am officially 35 weeks yesterday, and I had my doctor's appointment yesterday. I had a few appointments yesterday. I had my appointment with the OB, and during that appointment we just kind of like chatted about a few things. So the doctor I had was a different doctor, and so we chatted about a few things that was in my chart, asked me some questions, just to make sure that I'm not developing preeclampsia or anything like that. And then I had my GPS test, and the doctor wanted to check my urine, and I also requested them to take some blood and check my platelet count. And I'm excited because my platelet count has gone up even more. So in a previous video, maybe about 3 videos ago, I talked to you guys about how I had been feeling during the beginning of the pregnancy, and things I discovered about deficiencies that I had, and my platelet count. I've been having challenges with my platelet count for some time. It just really affected me really bad this pregnancy, and it was low, and then it started to increase, and it's increased even more. So I'm really happy about that and really excited because I kind of get to see my assessment of what was going on and why my platelet count was low. My assessment was correct or whatever. So like I said, I think I told you all that I would either talk with you all in later journal or diary entries, or after I had a baby, about what I had to some sacrifices I had to make to help with these alarming deficiencies that I have. So I'm still going to do that. I'm going to save that for after I have the baby. My platelets are looking good. They checked my urine, that came back good. So not showing any signs of preeclampsia, which of course they have a concern about, just with me being high risk, because earlier in my pregnancy I ended up in the hospital, like I had expressed, and my blood pressure was elevated. It was speculated that this came from a few years ago when my blood pressure started elevating, and a few years ago when my blood pressure started elevating, went to the emergency room, followed up with my primary care physician, and we together came up with a regimen to see about bringing my blood pressure back into normal range before looking into any type of medication, which I had done. I had adhered to the regimen, brought my blood pressure back into normal range, and my blood pressure was good ever since then until this pregnancy. And we concluded that the pregnancy exacerbated that a little, and so they've been wanting to monitor me more closely, and make sure I do not develop preeclampsia, which can be very serious, and all that kind of stuff. So far things are looking good with all of my testing and all that kind of stuff. So that was the OB visit, and then I had my last ultrasound because they didn't schedule me for any more, so I'm happy about that. I had my last ultrasound yesterday because I was getting the ultrasound once a month once I hit, I think, 6 months or the beginning of 7 months, something like that. So I had the last one yesterday. Things were looking good on that one. And then they had the fetal assessment. The fetal assessment was the one that they started wanting to do about a month ago, and they wanted to do it every week. And I didn't go to any of them until yesterday. I went to the one that they had yesterday, and everything was fine with that. So this week's appointment, for the most part, was really good. The only thing that kind of bothered me a little, you know, I'm not concerned about it, but it just bothered me just because sometimes things just tend to bother me, even though I know that everything's going to work out. When I looked at, so I was scheduled for, so since I'm now officially 35 weeks, I see the OB every week until I have the baby. And when I looked at so I was scheduled out when I went to the receptionist. They scheduled me out until my due date. So I know my visit's going to be every Tuesday around the same time until I have the baby. When I went and looked on my chart to look at my appointments, go down the list, and there's an appointment for an induction. And I'm like, induction? And then the appointment don't even make sense because the induction is right before my last appointment with my OB. So I was like, this has to be like a mistake. Maybe they put it in my chart meaning to put in someone else's or something. And I disregarded it, even though I was like, okay, I'm going to bring it up at my next appointment. Then I got a call from a nurse talking about the induction and wanted to make me aware of the induction and everything else she was saying. And I was like, I think that's a mistake, because I was like, the induction is scheduled before my due date, 2 weeks before my due date. And I said, right after the induction date, I have my last OB date. And the nurse was kind of like, no, well, I don't think it's a mistake because, you know, the OB put this in your chart. And what else? She was saying, I can make a note that you can, you know, you can have a conversation about it. I was like, no. I was like, there's no point in having a conversation. I was like, I'm not having an induction. You know, whether it was a mistake or not, which I believe it was a mistake because of how it looks, you're not inducing me. So I was like, you could just go ahead and you could just take that appointment off of my agenda. Like, I'm not doing an induction. So she was like, all right, whatever. And when I looked on my chart this morning, it's still up there. So I'm going to call back and make sure they take that off. I am not doing an induction. They can't make me, they can't make you, they can't make anybody do an induction. They can advise it, they can suggest it, but I had no conversation with anyone at my appointment yesterday about an induction. So I'm not doing an induction, just because I know what comes along with that. That is an intervention, and I don't want any medical interventions unless it's medically necessary. And an induction at this point is not necessary. I'm not past my due date. I don't have anything going on. Every test that I had yesterday, every exam I had, everything was looking fine. So I'm not doing an induction because I know that the induction, what it does is it leaves room for even more intervention, because the induction intensifies the contractions and it speeds up the contractions, and I don't need that. I don't want to stress my unborn child out with having all those contractions like that. I don't know how my my baby would respond to that type of stress. I don't know how I'm going to respond to that type of stress. I don't want to have contractions back to back where so I can't even have a minute to breathe in between my contractions. I would set myself up and my baby up for potential failure. So it's like, no, I'm not doing that. So that was the only little you know, challenge that that occurred yesterday, just dealing with that and talking to that nurse who just swore up and down that it wasn't a mistake. It's a mistake. Like, it's not supposed to be. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, so other than that, yeah, 35 weeks is looking good. Baby's good. Baby's heart sounds good. I'm feeling good. I'm just pretty much resting and nesting now. I have finally submitted to only being part-time with work. Just a couple weeks ago, I finally submitted to it when I lost a home care client. They didn't pass. I just could not be their caregiver anymore because of some challenges that they had going on with their home, some safety violations. So everybody's telling me that, or just about everybody, I don't want to say everybody, but just about everybody telling me I need to sit my butt down. But they don't understand that I have grown-ass woman responsibilities. So it's not as easy for me to just sit my behind down, even though I do know I need to. So I just yeah, accepted that I'm part-time and using this time to catch up on rest on days that I don't work, and organize my home and prepare for the baby. I'm okay with the whole resting and nesting aspect of this journey, but I kind of feel a way about not having the funds that I would like to have, because I literally have money just for bills. You know, other than that, I'm doing good. I am still focused on preparing my mind for birthing day, reciting my affirmations, steering clear of gloom cookies, those who are gloomy and say negative stuff about birth. Doing my squats. Can you believe it? I say that because I hate squats. I hate doing squats with a passion. But I know that it's a good way to prepare for the birthing experience that I'm trying to have, which is a birthing experience that is flows as smoothly as it possibly can. I know things are not going to be perfect because you can't control every aspect of life, but I want to flow as smoothly as it can. And so, I mean, who doesn't want that? Not saying I never want that in any other pregnancy, but with this one, being as though I'm up in age, I already have had some challenges with my blood pressure, things like that. I just want to make things as best as I possibly can. So I'm sitting on my birthing ball. I'm using my peanut ball. I'm doing my squats. I'm stretching. And I am reciting my affirmations. And I am striving to create a birthing and postpartum team that is phenomenal and will be nothing but exceptional for me and my family during this journey of our lives. And yeah, that's where I'm at. That's what I've been doing, but that's where I'm at even more because I do not have long. So yeah, so now my focus is on well, my focus has been on, but it's on even more aligning with a postpartum doula, because the doula that I currently have that I've talked to you guys about, she is a birthing doula solely. So the difference between a birthing doula and a postpartum doula is that a birthing doula is going to be there for you for the pregnancy phase and for the birth and for just a short while after the birth. We'll probably do like about 2 visits after the birth. And after that, that's the job of the birthing doula. But one who is a postpartum doula, or both birth and postpartum, they are available after. They're available for longer, for the longer journey after your giving birth. So they would be there for you, I would say at the least, up to a year, if you need them to be. So I have my sister who is going to assist me as best as she can, but she is not living in the same state as I am. So she is making the sacrifice to be here with me as best as she can and as much as she can. But she has a grandbaby getting ready to be born. So she's gonna, the plan is for her to be with me for a little, then go and be with her son and his wife for a little, and then come back and be with me. That's the plan. But I'm looking for backup or even an addition to that plan, just because things happen and and life must go on. I have to keep on living my life and doing what I need to do. So I'm in the process of looking for a postpartum doula. And I'm trusting in God. I'm trusting in myself and my baby to just all align this happening. And that's what I've kind of like been doing throughout this pregnancy. I've definitely had challenges with worrying. I'm a worrier. I've always been a worrier. I'm not proud of it, but it is what it is. I have to admit it, right? And so, but there comes a point in your journey where it's like the worrying is doing more harm than good. And you just kind of want to do it. You get kind of fed up with it. And so I've been at that point for a few weeks now. And so I've been at that point really longer than that, but even more so for a few weeks now. So pretty much I am learning and creating affirmations to put my mind in a space of attracting what it is that I need. So I'm taking my worries and I'm assessing them. And I'm saying, okay, this worry is here because I need this. This worry or concern is here because I need this. And that is what I'm kind of focusing on. So I'm shunning away the worry and I'm focusing on the need. So that way I can attract that. And I'm also staying in communication excuse me, I'm also staying in communication with my baby and communication with, the universe, and just believing that things will align, and that's what I've been doing thus far, and things have been aligning, and I've been doing it even more now because I've seen, and I've been knowing about this, but I still have, when something new comes on, and it's seems a little challenging or scary, I do go through my worrying phase, but I always kind of snap back to myself and get a grip. And I do my manifesting, and so just like I manifested my birth doula, and I manifested getting certain medical officials away from me and my child, and getting better medical folks, on the birth team, and all that kind of stuff, and manifesting just what I've been manifesting thus far, a healthy um, birth. I mean, not birth, but healthy pregnancy, all that kind of stuff. So now my focus is on manifesting a healthy birth experience, manifesting having my postpartum team put together, and just manifesting that things flow smoothly, um, you know, f- continue to flow smoothly here on out. So that's where I've been at, uh, you know, and that's where what my focus has been on since we last connected up here. Um, so yeah, so things are going smooth. Now what I'm focusing on is getting baby items. So my partner and I have been getting baby items. I've had family members purchase some baby items, as well as I have family members that are in the process of purchasing baby items. And so now certain things just need to be set up, and some baby clothes and baby blankets need to be washed to make sure there's no harsh chemicals on those clothings. So I'm gonna be doing that soon. I'm gonna go and get the baby wash that I want to use, and I'm gonna wash some of the clothes. They're new, but I'm just gonna take them out the package and wash them, make sure those chemicals are not on them. I have a bassinet for the baby, not a crib. Didn't want a crib. Cribs are okay, but I prefer bassinet. Even though none of my children have ever slept in a bassinet or a crib like that. I've always either had a bassinet or a crib, and it more so becomes a tool for me to use to like change them or store some of their baby items in it, because they don't do well with laying in bassinet and a crib. And I am a sucker for baby cries, so I've never been successful in making them stay in their crib or bassinet. So but anyway, got that, but I don't want to put that up until probably after I have the baby. Yeah, it's gonna be after I have the baby that I put that up, because I don't want it to like be sitting around collecting dust and all that kind of stuff. And then I have cats, and I don't want them hopping in it thinking it's for them or anything like that. Have the car seat. We're going to install the car seat into the father's car. Um, Probably this weekend. Um, because of course I'm not going to be able to drive myself to or from the hospital. So it's going to be stored in his car until I can get back to driving. Ouch. Or perhaps we'll get another one. I don't know. Um, and then we have a baby cart where we're going to store Baby items, I think we'll put that together beforehand. And then I went ahead and got the breast pump in bottles because the plan, and I have to definitely, well, I can make this happen. I have to definitely be on point with my breastfeeding game this time around because I have to go back to work. I have to, I'm not going to be I would love to stay home, but as of right now, that's not going to be the thing. I probably will at least do part-time once the baby is here. Just like I'm doing, it's kind of like I'm segueing into part-time now. I probably will remain part-time for a little bit and then eventually go back full-time. But either way, I gotta definitely be pumping so that the baby will have milk. So got that. Pretty much be focused on getting the things that we're gonna definitely need soon as the baby is born. And then, we'll get the other things as we'll get the other things here and there, and then once the baby's born for sure. So definitely got some onesies for the baby, some blankets, diapers, wipes. What else do we get? The bassinet, the car seat. I don't know. I'll have to go over in my corner and look at all of the stuff. But we definitely wanted to get the things that we would definitely need right away. So yeah, so that's what I've been up to. When I'm saying resting and nesting, oh yeah, I've been up to like here and there. I'll get these spurts of energy, and I'm cleaning and organizing. So yeah, so I've been doing that, cleaning and organizing things. Yeah, so that's what I've been up to. Yeah, that's what I've been up to. And this is me at 35 weeks. And next week I'll be visiting the doctors, and I'll be 36 weeks. And I am so excited and proud of me and my baby. I was just telling my baby the other day, I'm proud of you because I talk to my babies when they're in the womb, and I was talking to my baby, and because there was concern about preeclampsia, I would say more so on the doctor's end. It became mine too a little bit, just because when you keep being bombarded with stuff, like you start to kind of like think about it, but it wasn't so much to the point where as though like it was taking over me, but it was something that I would definitely think about, so I would catch myself. And I still do it now, is just checking my body, just doing checks on my face, making sure my face is not swelling too much, checking my hands, checking my ankles, my feet, make sure they're not swelling too much, because of course that's the symptom of preeclampsia, and making sure I'm not feeling any pains under my ribs and things of that nature. Checking my blood pressure more consistently, to make sure it's not going over 140, over 90, all of that kind of stuff. And then I had noticed that when I had my Braxton Hicks been becoming stronger and stuff like that, and I've been feeling more pressure. And so, I was just talking to my baby, and I said, look, I said, at least get us to 37 weeks, because that's when the baby's lungs are fully developed. And not saying that the baby can't survive before 37 weeks, because babies can, and they do. But I want to alleviate as much as possible being told that, the baby has to go to the NICU. And that's not to say that it can't happen for another reason. But once again, it's like you're going back to controlling what you can control. And so, even though you can't control nature, like if the baby comes, the baby comes. But it was kind of like me just talking to the baby and like, all right, we don't have long. Let's at least get to 37 weeks, because I had one of my other children at 37 weeks. My son, Zoe, and he was good. He didn't have no problems. He didn't have to go to no NICU. His lungs were developed, and he was my biggest baby. He's been my biggest baby thus far. Next in line is my youngest daughter. She's my second biggest baby. So yeah, so that's been the thing of just kind of monitoring myself and making sure I am putting certain things into my body that help keep my blood pressure in check, as well as kind of like doing mindful techniques to alleviate stress and things of that nature. Yeah, and so I'm excited because next week is 36 weeks. At 36 weeks, I'm full term. 37 weeks, we know for sure that the baby's lungs are developed. And don't have to worry about being injected with any kind of hormones or anything like that to speed up the lung development. So I'm excited and happy about that. I really am. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. So I am going to attempt to do another follow-up for each one of these next weeks until I have the baby, but I can't promise you that I'm gonna do that. But I'm gonna do my best to do a follow-up and let you guys know where I'm at, like what's going on each week with my appointments, and then where I'm at mentally, and yeah, and just as far as with resting and preparing for my new baby. So thank you for tuning in and joining me. I hope this has been beneficial to someone who is watching, a mom, a dad, whatever, who may have been going through some of the similar things that I'm going through. And I will see y'all in the next Blooming Diaries videos. Until then, y'all stay blessed and keep the faith. Peace.